All right, aloha, friends. Welcome to another episode of Game Time with the Goss. I'm your host, Brian Gossett, and today's guest is Jayme Baker. She's in her fifth season with John Paul softball. Just hit her 100th win with the program most recently, and defending TAPS 6A state champs, and as well as winning in 2021. So two state titles in a span of 3 years, and she joins us now. Thanks for joining me, Coach Baker. Going back to last year first, you guys face Antonio Prep. I remember watching that game. That was kind of a nail biter, back and forth. Really went down to the last out. You guys won 11-10. I can't even imagine what you were feeling in the dugout as that seventh inning was going. But yeah, what do you kind of remember about that game?
I don't really remember like the specifics of the seventh inning per se. I remember I think we had a 6-run lead going into the seventh inning. So I felt pretty secure going into the seventh inning. But then as the runs kind of started dwindling down and they were just finding holes on us, I knew Carly would get it done, but I did not think that they would score 5 in the bottom of the seventh on us. So definitely nervous, trying to keep the girls motivated. I called time to get them refocused. And yeah, no, it was a stressful game. I haven't even rewatched the game yet. I probably should rewatch it. Because that seventh inning, I think everybody felt the stress. As because Antonian Prep is typically well coached and they don't quit. So maybe I went into the seventh inning a little more inflated that we had this.
Like I
So,
said, uh, kind of really your fourth season. You got there, and first year was canceled because of COVID, but you did just come up with your 100th win with the program. Again, two titles in 3 years. Just what do those numbers mean to you with the program like this?
I think it's always great to put, these winning numbers up, but I'm gonna be really honest. I'm just really grateful for the great group of kids we coach. They're great kids with awesome parents. Just great culture that like our little junior class has really created and set forth. So I think me for a coach, like more of my program wins are off the field. Because I know they can play ball. I mean, I know that, and I watch them at practice. But I think our kids like leading with kindness and treating our JV players, and cheering for them and being friends. Or a big coaching win for me is watching them eat together, sitting at the same table every day. So I think like that's more of a win for me as a coach than actually wins. I mean, well, the wins are great. I love them. Don't get me wrong. I love it. But I think just for me, the kids' character is probably my number one thing. So, and I think that is just awesome that we're getting to that point to where we're just having these outstanding young ladies.
So you come to John Paul in 2020. You had coached before that. Just how did this job come on your table, and did you kind of already know about this program, and could you kind of see kind of the instant success?
Yeah, I am always just a firm believer of just go to work. And when I took the program over, we had a few kids that could play softball. And so I think our mentality was just to go to work and outwork people. And then, if you build a great program, people will gravitate towards us. And so I just kind of took that mindset to put, our core values in place, and try to give these kids a program that they were proud to play in. And so I played at a really tradition rich program in Oklahoma. So I kind of just modeled things after that I just, I wanted to mean something when they put their uniform on, or, if we show up, I want it to mean something. And so that was kind of the mindset I had when I took the job. I really didn't even know what I was getting into per se. I am Catholic, and so I knew the job had came open. One of my lesson kids had told me to apply for the job, and I wasn't really for sure if it was really even gonna be tied to teaching. I was coming from Richardson Berkner, a 6A school in Richardson. So I was coming from UIL, and I just wasn't really quite sure like what private school was. And then once I got here and kind of understood how things worked, I really just have loved it. So
Awesome. So yeah, just kind of background. You mentioned playing in Oklahoma, but where'd you go to college? How long did you play? And then was coaching really kind of the dream?
Yeah, so I played at Southeastern Oklahoma State University in Durant. I played college softball for 4 years. I went back and coached at Southeastern and received my graduate degree there. I really thought I was headed like towards the college track, and that was kind of what I was pursuing. And then I ended up kind of switching gears. I coached 1 year of high school softball in Oklahoma, and then I quickly came to Texas because, I mean, pay was better than Oklahoma education pay. So, I quickly left and came to Dallas. And then, you know, um, I've always had thoughts of like maybe going to college one day, but I'll be really honest, I'm in such a great spot here and I really love North Texas and I love JP2. And I think it's awesome that I get this high school experience with these kids and I get to pray with them. I get like we attended mass together this morning. So this kind of just really fit like a need where I got to stay kind of in one spot. Have great kids come to my school. And so it kind of felt like a kind of a happy medium between high school and college, if that kind of makes sense. So without having to move so much, because college jobs, you're also moving quite a bit.
Yeah, and yeah, I love North Texas. Some of the best softball around. So you're in a
Yeah.
good spot. And go Savage Storm.
Oh yeah, I know. Well, when I played, they were the Savages. So I think they added Storm on my senior year. They had to change the Savage Storm. We weren't quite sure what that meant, but we were like, all right, whatever. So
So talking with Jayme Baker with JP2, and now transitioning to this season. You guys are already 16 games in, a few weeks in. You guys are 15-1 so far this year. Uh, Kind of was looking at the roster prior to coming on the show, but uh, really looks like a young team. I could only find one senior. Uh, just 16 games in, 15-1. What do you kind of attribute this kind of fast start for you guys?
we had 3 freshmen come in and they're pretty good sized kids, pretty big competitors. So we had some starters go down, and I'll be honest with you, the freshmen have stepped up. They're just, they're getting the job done. We're not putting up as big of power numbers as I thought we were probably going to have this year, which I think those will increase once all of our starters are back in the lineup. Which, I mean, you don't have to have power numbers to win ball games by any means, but they came in and they worked and they're kind of scrappy and they're being consistent at the plate for us. Carly Holman's throwing really well, hitting spots, looks great, feels great, and that's a big thing to our success. And they work hard every day. They're just, they are kids that just come to work, and I think that's probably the biggest part of our success, that they're never satisfied with not doing things right. So, obviously our criticism, even on wins, is tough. And so the next day at practice, we go to work and we just try to get better. So I think our biggest thing is just focusing on playing the game right and how we can do that and try to develop and be ready. So that's kind of our main focus.
Yeah, I think you have a few freshmen that are really contributing. The one that caught my eye because I think they're sisters, but
They are Reagan McGraw and Abby
yeah,
McGraw.
it looks
Yeah.
like at least Reagan and some of the other freshmen are really putting up the numbers so far in 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, Reagan's a really consistent player for us. I will say this. No matter where she hits the ball, she gets out of the box fast and she flies down first base. So even if it's a miss hit on the infield, she's getting some base hits for us as a left-handed hitter. So she just gets after it. She's a good base runner for sure.
Uh, so I know a couple weeks ago you guys, I believe, went 5-0 at in Forney,
We
the
did.
Forney tournament, and then help me out this past weekend.
We went 5-0 again.
Was it Allen?
We got Allen. We played Flower Mound, we played Prosper, McKinney, Bells, and Trenton. We have another little freshman pitcher too that is pitching some games for us too. So Carly's not having to take the load of our games.
This is kind of, coaches get asked this all the time, but I mean, what's it mean to kind of schedule these tournaments and these games, where you're playing as a tap school, you're playing, 5A, 6A, UIL, and, really being successful and posting undefeated records. But what's it mean to schedule some of those games and face some of these top teams in the state?
Honestly, I think our biggest focus when we make this schedule is to make sure our kids are ready in the event we make it in May. So we want them to have that pressure on them. We want big hits. We want fast runners. We want them to see the best pitching. Because what I will say is when they're beating these teams or even having success, last year we still had success as hitters. We were kind of down on the mound. Carly was hurt. But, even if they just have success and they have the confidence that no matter what, the South has for us at state or whatever the North challenges us, they know they can play with anybody. So, I just think it builds a lot of confidence. And then it also lets us know as coaches, like what we need to work on and what we need to get better on. So, because at the end of the day, what we are in right now is not what we should be in May. We should be playing better in May. And so I think just having that mindset of, preparing for playoffs in May, I think that's been the biggest piece of adjustment we've made the last 2 years.
Yeah, talking about your pitcher, Carly Holman, just a junior, 2025. So you've had her for now. This is her third season, but um, she's off to a good start. I believe she's 9-1. Really good ERA, almost to 100 strikeouts already. But talk about both the player, the pitcher she is, as well as kind of the kid she is off the field, and just your relationship with Carly.
She's a great kid. I would consider her one of those kids that just has blue collar work ethic. She goes to work. She has an even demeanor. I've known Carly. I've been watching Carly since she was probably maybe 10 at extra innings because I was doing lessons up there and I would always talk to her dad, John. So for her just to watch her develop and have this success and, the outstanding young lady she is even off the field is great. She's just one of those kids that really deserves the moon, honestly. Just work ethic and personality and kindness. She's fantastic.
And then just help us out. What's kind of coming up on your schedule? Do you have any? Are you done with tournaments, or do you have one more in you
No,
got?
we have one more. We did 4 tournaments this year. They're a little tired this week, so we took off yesterday. We're doing hitting today. So this week we play Mesquite, we play Caddo Mills. We have oh man, who do we have Friday morning or Saturday morning? I
And
don't remember who we have Saturday morning, but we do have Lake Highlands. My sister's the head coach at Lake Highlands, so I'm pretty excited for that game.
uh,
So.
so this is tournament. Where's this at?
This is the Mesquite tournament out at the girls complex out there. And
Okay,
then on Friday, we open up district against Parish.
okay. And this runs Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We're just playing Thursday, Saturday due to district.
Okay. And you said who? Parish on Friday.
Yeah, Parish on Friday at 6 at home.
Okay. So that's interesting. Like you said, you before JP, you were at Berkner, and you said your sister's at Lake Highlands. Same school district.
Rivals,
How did
rival schools.
how did that happen?
Well, my sister was already at Lake Highlands, and then I knew that Coach Duff, he was a longtime coach at Berkner. He started the program, was going to be retiring. So I put my resume in with about 55 other people, and I got an interview, and then they liked me in the interview, and I got hired. So she got me the first couple of years, maybe the first year, I think she got me. I was 0-2 against her. But I want to say that when I left Richardson, I think I was sitting at like I had way more wins than she did. I'm trying to think. I think it was like 11 and like 3 maybe.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
maybe 10-4. So
Do you think she put in a good word for you over there?
oh, 100%. Yeah, she had done a great job at Lake Highlands. And so, Leslie Slovak, the AD of Richardson, they really liked her. So, I mean, she definitely got my foot in the door for me. And then I had to sell myself like you do in an interview to get them to hire me. I was 27 with 1 year head coaching experience. So I'm sure there was maybe some other qualified people to take that job.
Okay, so from first year to Berkner to now, how many years is that?
That is, this is my 12th year.
Okay. So I
Yeah.
mean you played your sister all 12 years or
No, yeah, so, Richardson can't, schedule private schools,
okay.
so we just kinda lucked out because we were going to the same tournament this year that they scheduled us.
Do you guys not like, hey, let's try to do a same tournament?
No, no, I just, Denton, we didn't go to Denton, and I needed a tournament that was somewhat local. I wanted to go to Turf Wars, but, Turf Wars pitching isn't quite the same level as our district pitching,
Right.
and I needed to see a little bit slower pitching as that can definitely mess up, our hitters sometimes.
Yeah.
So,
So it is this the first time you're playing in
like
what
5 years. Yeah,
really?
first time we're playing in 5 years. The great thing about it is she's probably gonna get dinner bought for her because I anticipate beating her, and my parents buy the loser's dinner. So,
That's awesome.
yeah.
What was that like just facing her? I mean, you guys obviously probably real competitive, but whoever wins, do they bring it to the dinner table during Thanksgiving or Christmas? I mean, what's it like?
Not too much. I'll be honest, I don't really talk about softball outside of softball. So
Because
my
you
my
do it a
parents
lot. You do it so much.
oh,
So
I do it a ton. So like I don't talk about softball. And then I just, I know I'm gonna beat her, so I don't want to rub it in too much. So
I hope she watches this episode.
yeah, she might. She's probably gonna laugh. So
Awesome. So curious, you mentioned playing in Durant and Southeastern. Um, what position were you?
I was a catcher. Yeah, I was a catcher and power hitter. So I wish I could go back and play now with everything I know. I would be so much a better player.
Do you
Just to have
still
the knowledge I have.
I mean, is your name in the record book still over there in college or
You know what? They're not. My sister has some records there because she also played at Southeastern.
okay,
So she had some home run records for a while. I think I still hold some high school records. But my sister, I would say my sister was a better player than me, but then she would tell you that I was a better player than her.
all right. So
So, I mean,
she's got some of the college numbers and now you got some of the coaching numbers. So
kinda, yeah. I mean, I would say I was a smarter player than her, but if I had to redo it all over again, Brian, I would go play first base and just hit and not catch.
I mean, catch. I mean, I only caught in little league, but yeah, obviously I know catching, can take a toll on you. But that's
Yeah, but
awesome.
she was living the glory life at first base. She was playing first base, hitting home runs. She didn't have to put too much effort on defense in.
So I've asked this a couple times with other coaches and other former players, but I'm just curious because I'm not sure if you play. Did you play uh, in the pitching era where the circle was still
40
40?
feet.
It was still 40. Okay,
Yeah, yeah, at my high school, it was at 40 feet. Ball was coming in.
so I mean, it's obvious that the game has changed because 20 years ago it was a pitching era. Now they're still good pitching, but seems like kids are hitting more home runs than ever. But just kind of talk about how the game has changed in the last 20 years.
Yeah, so I will definitely say, like, when I played at 40 feet, you kind of had more of an era of like every single person could bunt. Like, because you had to, and every single person could squeeze because you had to. Because if you had a Division 1 commit on that mound and they're throwing at 40, but they're releasing at like 37, 36. You had really low scoring games. So, I feel like hitters were maybe a little bit more well-rounded, because you had to be, because and then also too, I also feel like when those pitchers were throwing at that, like you were real focused on just real short to contact. I mean, we focus on that now, but you see kids with a lot bigger swings sometimes. And like, sometimes it was just about like peppering the ball almost to get a runner to cross home plate. So, I think hitters now put bigger home run numbers up for sure, but I think hitters like back in the day were better like true offensive hitters. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah,
Like
because now they're
you had
just
to be.
now you're just smashing the ball, and back then there was a little bit probably more strategy involved with it. So
Oh
uh,
yeah. I mean, I can remember like as a three hole having to bunt in like state and regionals and playoffs. And like
yeah,
I talked to
there's no
I
3-hole hitters bunting these days.
I know. But one of my players, I go, "Hey, how's your bunting?" She goes, "Well, not very good. I'm a power hitter." And I was like, "Well, I mean, I've been a pretty good sized girl my whole life. I was also a power hitter, but I also knew how to bunt."
Right.
So, we try to like bring that art back a little bit here. They kind of look at me like I'm crazy, but so we're working.
Did you get to experience both lengths, 40 and 43, or just did you only play in the 40?
I only played at 40. Yeah, I only played at 40, and then when I went to college, obviously they got moved back to 43. I would love to go back to high school and hit at 43 feet though. It'd be fantastic.
Like, do you remember sort of that year that it changed and how um, just really how it affected the softball world? Like, I don't know, did everyone's mind just get blown that it got moved back 3 feet?
I think everybody was kind of questioning it. I think like I know people were worried about like safety of players, because hitters are going to hit the ball harder. But I mean, I don't really remember too much. I don't even know what year it changed in. Do you know what year it changed in?
I want to say like '07 or '08, but uh,
Yeah, see, I was in college, so I don't even know if I was even like really receptive to it per se, or to even hear the talk, because like in college we were already at that 43 feet.
yeah, I know there's not going to be many 1-0 15 inning type games anymore like back in
Oh
the
no, yeah, I can remember state. We won in the semifinals, like in 14 innings, and it was because the right fielder caught a foul ball and we tagged and scored. And it was like literally 14 innings. Like you don't really even see innings go past like 9 now.
and if they do, it's it's like 10-10 or whatever, but it's not.
Yeah,
not
10 to 10, and then like typically someone's gonna win on a walk-off home run or something
yeah.
like that. So yeah, no, it was definitely a different game. I mean, but I think that game comes back a lot in college for these girls, especially if they end up at a power school. They're gonna be expected to bunt and expected to get things moving. So I mean, I think probably if anything, college coaches are having to get these kids to understand that, you don't need a home run to win a game. And we do talk about that here with them, that sometimes we just need a ball to the outside part of the field so we can score that runner at third base. So we do have those conversations with them.
Do you remember facing like the best? Who was the best pitcher you faced, or
Yeah, I was playing in like a gold event in Kansas City, and it was a Cal State commit, and she was like 6'1". I didn't know what was coming. Um And she was throwing it, man. I think she was landing like at 35. I don't know. But I just remember thinking to myself, well, I have a higher chance of hitting if I swing 3 times and and swing hard. And I think I went like 1 for 3 on her, but I couldn't tell you what was coming. I was just trying to keep my head on the ball and get to contact, right? Because when girls are throwing the ball hard, if you just get to contact, the ball's gonna go for you.
yeah?
So that's I remember that picture so well because I think she only like 2 hit us. But yeah, she was dealing that game for sure.
Yeah, that was kind of my mindset, uh, even in little league, just kind of against the hard throwers, just swing. If you make contact, odds are you're gonna get on base. But
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, I still kinda had that mindset a lot. I always felt like if I attacked the ball and I could hit a lot of different pitches, you know? Maybe not as disciplined as hitters should be, but I mean, it worked for me, so
that's awesome. And I'll get you out on this. Just again, as you guys continue your season there at JP2, just what do you kind of want the listeners to know about your program and why we should kind of maybe come out and watch you guys play?
Well, I will say this. A lot of coaches do it right, and I know we do it right here. We have a great team. We're quick paced. We get a lot of compliments from other coaches on how we do things. They play outstanding ball and they're great kids. And I can't express that enough on how fantastic of young ladies these are. And because I always feel like if you're a good person, good people make good ball players, and I say that all the time. And when you have kids that just support each other, and you have kids that pick up each other, and you have kids that are genuinely friends and they're kind to each other, man, it displays on the field. It just, they're great kids. And so, I don't know if every school gets to experience that, but whatever happens this year for us, I'm just grateful I've got to have such a great group of kids this year.
Awesome. Yeah, there you got a good group there, coach. So we wish you the best of luck here
Thank
this weekend at the Mesquite tournament, and of course the rest of the year as you guys try and push towards another state tournament run. But Coach Baker, thank you so much for joining me. This was fun. Uh, Getting a little history blast from the past, if you will.
Yeah,
But
right.
I appreciate you so much joining me today.
Yeah, thank you so much, and I'm sure I'll see you at our game soon.
All right, that's Coach Jayme Baker with JP2 softball, and thank you for tuning in. This is Brian Gossett, another episode with Game Time with the Goss. Check us out on YouTube, and hopefully you enjoy the rest of your week, and we see you next time. Thanks.